Hello, and welcome to this session on using Ansible with Checkpoint APIs. I'm your host, Dwayne, and I appreciate you having me here today. In this episode, you will install the Ansible module collection and get a look into the ansible-galaxy. In the second half, you'll set up a local Git repository for your work. Don't worry, this will not be a deep dive into Git. You won't even need to use GitHub. Grab yourself a snack, a beverage, and let's get started. Your management server is ready. Ansible is installed and configured. Your inventory is built. All you're missing is the magic glue. This glue comes in the form of the Checkpoint module collection. If you built a Docker container for your Ansible, then you have this collection already. You can still follow along because you may want to have this info handy for other scenarios. Otherwise, you're welcome to skip ahead to the section for your local Git repository. For those of you with natively installed Ansible, you need to install the collection yourself. This is a lot easier than it may seem. Ansible provides a central repository of module collections known as ansible-galaxy. You can browse the Galaxy collection at galaxy.ansible.com. This is a place where vendors and independent developers publish their works. It's like a GitHub for Ansible module collections. You can search for various collections by name and by vendor. A vendor collection is categorized as a namespace. You will need to know the vendor's collection namespace. For Checkpoint collections, the namespace is check_point, 2 words separated by the underscore. There is a collection for a namespace named Checkpoint, 1 word, but this is not the one we want. Checkpoint has 2 collections, one for the Gaia API and one for the Management API. Select the Management collection. Here you can see the various versions they have available. You can also access the raw GitHub repo for the module collection with the repo link on the far right. We'll save these details for another day though. On the Documentation tab, you can see some simple instructions for installing the collection as well as a sample inventory. This should look familiar. The most salient part is the section for installation instructions. That one command is all you need to install the module collection. Before you run that command though, you need to know where the collections are going to be installed. If you're using all defaults for your Ansible configuration, then you need to run these commands to verify. The first one is ansible -- version. Look for the Ansible collection location line. For a default configuration, the first path will be under your user's home directory. In this case, you are in good shape and you can continue onward. For collections installed into your user's home directory, the default path .ansible will be a hidden directory. Just keep that in mind if you are looking for your collection someday. However, if this is a system level path, then you have a couple choices to make. You can install the collection with sudo, or you can edit your Ansible configuration file and specify a new location under your user home directory or elsewhere. The choice is up to you. You can also see the list of collections currently installed with the command ansible-galaxy collection list. This will show you the collections in each of the various possible paths. The most important fact is that these collection paths are listed in the order in which they will be searched. If you have different versions of the same collection installed in different locations, this shows the version that will be found first. Here, the first one wins. If you're ready, install the Checkpoint Management Collection with this command: ansible-galaxy collection install check_point.mgmt. If all went well, you now have the module collection. Check it with the command ansible-galaxy collection list check_point.mgmt. It should look similar to this output. If you have an existing version of the module collection and you want to upgrade to the latest, then add the $U parameter to the same command. If you feel the need to delete the version you have installed, you just delete the directory path where the collection is installed. There is no uninstall for the ansible-galaxy command. Your Ansible is complete and ready. With the Ansible module collection installed, now we need to talk about how we're going to keep track of everything. Git will be our tool of choice. There are some housekeeping items to cover for those who are new-ish to Git. If you're a Git expert or have been doing this for a while, you can probably skip this section. For everyone else, let's get it done. And now a little word about Git. Linus Torvalds of Linux kernel fame developed his own version control system out of necessity at the time. Thus was born Git, which has gone on to change the world of software development. It has become a tool anyone can use to keep track of just about anything, not limited to software development projects. However, GitHub was not his doing. That was another group of folks. You should really consider keeping your Ansible creations in a local Git repository. You don't need to push any of this to GitHub. Local is plenty enough. Over time, you will create lots of items and likely make some configuration adjustments. Keeping track of all your changes or needing to revert to previous known working state is going to be very difficult if you don't have something doing that work for you. Let Git help you. I will show you some very simple and very straightforward ways to do this. None of this will be deep or advanced. The most simple thing you can do is go to your Ansible working directory and turn it into a local Git repository. One simple command gets you going. Git space init space dot. That dot on the end is optional. It just means the current directory. I do it out of habit. The first thing you see is that the default name of your initial branch is called master. Most other projects and those on GitHub changed this to main. Older revision control systems like CVS and Subversion use the name trunk. You're welcome to change this if you like with the command git branch -m and then the name of your branch. You need to do this immediately before you go any further though. Changing this later can be a painful operation, so decide now. In other systems, the main or trunk branch is a very special entity with certain implied characteristics. However, in Git, a branch is a branch regardless of its name. Main has no special meaning to Git, and the name is not afforded anything more special than any other branch you create. If you are using a command line editor to edit your configuration files, like I often do, some editors automatically write a backup copy of the file you're editing. Most of the times, these backup files have some extra character for the file name suffix, such as a tilde. You may not want to keep track of these files in your new local Git repository. Create a new file here in your Ansible working directory named .gitignore. The leading dot is important. Here you can list any files and directories you'd like to have Git ignore for tracking. At minimum, I include my editor's backup files with the file name pattern *tilde. You can include any others here if you like. Save this file when you're done. Return to the terminal when you're ready to make your first commit. First, let's see what Git sees. Run the command git status. Here it says no commits yet, which makes sense. The list of untracked files shows you everything that Git sees but doesn't know about. The various output messages tell you exactly what to do next. Add those files to Git's view of the world. You can do this with the command git add *. Now run git status again. Oops, looks like the git ignore file didn't get added. That's because it's a hidden file. You can add it now manually. Git add space .git ignore. Now rerun git status. Okay, looks good. Everything is now staged for commit. Wait, did I say staged? Yes, staged. Nothing has been committed yet. The output even says so. Remember the last time you had to pack up all your belongings and move to a new house or apartment or flat? Did you just carry all your clothes and pillows and dishes and blankets and put them directly into the moving truck? Or did you first pack them into boxes? Without getting into heavy details, think of Git as a two-step operation. 1, the box of items is Git's staging area, and 2, the moving truck is Git's commit area. You first put all of your newly edited files into Git staging area. When you're ready to pack that staging area, the box, into the truck, you do that with a commit command. The command git add puts things into the staging area, and the command git commit does the final commit. After that, it's loaded and done. Yes, if you make some terrible mistake, you can undo a commit. This is just like taking that box off the truck to repack it and then reload it. When you do your commit, you have to write some useful commit message. You can write anything you want here. However, you should follow a golden rule. Pretend that the next person who looks at your code is a violent psychopath and they know where you live. So write a useful commit message because that next person just might be you. If you don't write anything, the git commit will fail and nothing will happen. You must write a message of some kind. Commit message styles are beyond the scope of this episode, however. To see the history of everything, run the command git log. This output has a ton of useful items, but I'm not going into any details here. The big long commit number is a SHA-1 hash of the commit. This is what Git really uses to track everything. You can see the current branch name at the end, the name of the person who made this commit, and there's that commit message. I won't get into that head pointer because that's beyond the scope of this series. Just know that in this little repository, head will always point to the main branch. After your initial commit, you can see the new output of git status, which is rather unremarkable, and that is no surprise. You'll see other uses of Git as we go along in this series. For now, you're in good shape and ready to go. All right, you're all set up and ready for your first mission. Nice work. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below so you'll know when new content is available. Please leave a comment to let me and others know how this video helped you. Join me in the next video and you'll get to work with Ansible playbooks, checkpoint modules, and the checkpoint API commands.